Good evening, everyone. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg. This is Andrew Bamlett filling in for Jeremy Crosby today. It is Wednesday, April 27th. Hopefully you're all having a good day out there and going into a good evening. We're going to start with today. We're going to have some headlines. We're going to go over a little Arbor Day proclamation that happened last night at the Common Council meeting. And we're going to go into a few replays that we've had over the past month, and we're going to revisit Lieutenant Edward Hartwig with the Fitchburg Police Department for our digest, and then also re-talk to Mayor Aaron Richardson about the Town of Madison update to preview the update public information meeting tomorrow night happening on Novation Parkway. So we'll get to him in the guest segment. But we will start with the Arbor Day proclamation that happened last night here at our Common Council here at the City of Fitchburg.
First up is public appearances, non-agenda items, new appointments, proclamations, all kinds of things here. First, we'll do the mayoral proclamation for Earth Day. And we are recognizing April 29th, 2022 as the official Fitchburg Arbor Day and Earth Day celebration. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day called Arbor Day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas the holiday called Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas each year on the last Friday in April, people throughout Wisconsin and across the country celebrate Arbor Day by paying a special attention to the wonderful treasure that trees represent, and by dedicating themselves to the continued health of our urban and rural forests. And whereas every tree planted, nurtured, or maintained by past generations, enjoyed by citizens today, bears witness to the foresight of our predecessors, men and women who were inspired by the notion of a future blessed with trees. And whereas in December of 1998, Fitchburg City Council acknowledged the importance of trees by resolving to develop a community tree management program with the goal of achieving Tree City USA status, and applying for grants to help plant and maintain trees in the city. And whereas trees can reduce runoff, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, calm traffic, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal, provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, beautify our community, and whereas Fitchburg has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation for 24 consecutive years, has earned 11 growth awards, and desires to continue its tree planting ways. And whereas in 1970, Senator Gaylord Nelson of Wisconsin suggested in a speech that a one-day demonstration be held to show concern for the environment, April 22nd, 1970 was designated the original Earth Day. And whereas in recognition of Earth Day, April 29th, 2022, it is desirable to undertake efforts to clean up our community's roadsides and parks. And whereas planting trees by Fitchburg citizens represents a commitment to our community, environment, urban forestry, and aesthetic beauty. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the City of Fitchburg that April 29th, 2022 is officially known as Fitchburg Arbor Day and Earth Day celebration. Now therefore be it further proclaimed by the City of Fitchburg that all citizens are urged to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands and to support our city's urban forestry program. That all citizens are urged to plant trees to promote the well-being of present and future generations so that future generations can continue to enjoy a green and healthy community, and to look back upon the foresight and dedication of their predecessors with pride and with gratitude, and to join with others across our state and nation in celebrating the nobility of trees. Proclaim this 26th day of April, 2022.
All right, and also don't forget, coming up on Arbor Day, tree planting is coming up this Saturday on April 30th at Quarry Hill Park at 9 a.m. You're going to meet at the gazebo. You're going to plant some trees and shrubs in the park, and also on the 30th at Chicory Meadows Park at 9:30. Again, meeting at the gazebo, and they're going to be planting some native shrubs as well to replace the honeysuckle and buckthorn that were removed last winter. So come on down to those this Saturday and get some tree planting going on. Sounds like a really good time. Also, we want to preview tomorrow night's events. We have the Town of Madison Public Information Meeting that is happening. It's the Get Acquainted meeting. It will be taking place tomorrow, April 28th at 6:30 at the Courts Benefits Building, 2650 Novation Parkway. This is for the public information meeting and Get Acquainted meeting regarding the Town of Madison attachment. We'll have a short presentation followed by Q&A Additionally, staff from city departments will also be on site for any questions you may have about this change and how it will affect you. To view the city's Town of Madison information page on the website, visit fitchburgwi.gov, and you can go down to search Town of Madison, and you'll find an entire web page on any questions you may have for this attachment happening later this year. Also coming up tomorrow night is the Pickleball Community Kickoff. This will be happening tomorrow from 5:30 to 7 at the McGaw Park, which is 5236 Lacey Road. This should be scheduled for open plays, where to find lessons, how to attend clinics, leagues, etc. These are all things that will be covered at the meeting. And after announcements, stay and play pickleball. Paddles and balls will be available to borrow, and experienced players will help teach you and answer questions. So it sounds like a good time. If you are interested, come on down. Again, that's tomorrow night from 5:30 to 7 at McGaw Park at the new pickleball courts. So that sounds like a good time. Also, we have County Highway MM and McCoy Road intersection improvements starting up this May. And this will be going on from May to August. The city and county received federal safety grant funding to reconstruct the intersection with a traffic signal and to shift the Capital City Trail crossing to the intersection. One lane of traffic in each direction on County Highway MM and the Capital City Trail and the US 14 ramps will remain open throughout the project. And for the safety of the travelers and construction workers, left turns will be prohibited at this intersection throughout the construction. So again, you'll not be able to make any type of left-handed turn from McCoy or MM at this intersection. So please be prepared for that and make adjustments to your traveling during this time frame of May to August of this year. One more story we're going to get to is some spring cleaning. And do you do some spring cleaning? I know I do, and it's getting that time. But one thing we want to make sure you're not doing is mixing chemicals. Chemicals in your home can be dangerous to your health and your environment. So do not mix these chemicals, as they can be toxic, cause gases, and even fire. So please be careful out there with your spring cleaning. Do not mix chemicals. Just use them separate like they're supposed to out of the bottle. And be careful, and please wear the proper protection gear if you're using certain chemicals like bleach. You have gloves and eye protection on at all times. All right, that's going to do it for me for the headlines. Coming up next, we're going to sit down and talk with Lieutenant Edward Hartwig from the Fitchburg Police Department on a recap from this past month. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
It takes all of us to slow the spread of the coronavirus, so follow guidance from authorities where you live and stay home unless absolutely necessary. Use a delivery service for essential items like food and medicine. If you must make essential trips, stay 6 feet apart from other people. Wear a cloth face covering and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Hey, boss. Okay.
Said I'm fine.
Me to bed, see you in the morning with the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it, and we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. We were underlay in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Bob.
You know you can talk to me.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from the Fitchburg Police Department is Lieutenant Ned Hartwig. Ned, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Jeremy. How are you?
Did I get the title, the name, everything right? You good to go?
I'll go with whatever you give me.
All right. Well, Captain, let's start off by talking about the shots fired incident and arrest taking place a little bit earlier this week. Not much to this case per se. The person was maybe under the influence, shot a weapon, was heard. But in a bigger sense here, when any of these things happen, kind of notifying the police department, obviously for many reasons, is a good thing. But in this case, helped maybe speed the process up in locating this individual and taking some action.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great reminder of the fact that public safety and community safety are really everyone's responsibility. We're the ones that respond to it, but often we can't be, and we certainly can't be in all 35 square miles of Fitchburg at once. So we were made aware of some 911 callers that had heard the gunshots, and we just so happened to have a couple of officers right in the area. This occurred off of Williamsburg Way, Anton Drive. And officers within minutes of the call located this individual who was walking home from a bar, had consumed too much alcohol, and either way was in possession of a firearm that he shouldn't have been while he was at a bar. And he told responding officers that he had fired that gun because he hadn't shot it in a while, which is concerning in a number of ways. Fortunately, no one was hit with that gunfire, despite it being in a very densely populated area with a large apartment complex, and obviously you have a major highway right there. There was some damage to a business there, but again, based on the actions of a citizen taking the time to call 911 and report that, we were able to respond and come to a resolution fairly quickly.
Yeah, and I, like you had mentioned too, I think just listening and reporting is super helpful. And you have many different ways to report things as well. So it's not just calling 911 too. So if maybe you're like, I'm not really comfortable talking to the police department, but I still want to share some information, what would you recommend on that front?
So we always recommend calling, I think the bigger question comes in sometimes is this an emergency? Do I need to call 911? Because a lot of times people are fearful of calling 911, that you're taking up the emergency dispatcher's time. And there is understandable, hesitation there. But I recommend if you are hesitating to call, just call. And even if you call 911 and it's not truly an emergency, they'll triage the situation. But the unique feature that we have here in Fitchburg is that we maintain a non-emergency dispatch number. And I recommend that all Fitchburg residents, anyone that works in Fitchburg, program that number into their phone. You're that much more likely to call and let us know what's going on. And we answer that phone 24/7, and you'll get the same response that you would if you were to call 911. If you do have a medical emergency, please call 911. But in addition to our non-emergency dispatch number, which for those of you wanting to enter that into your phone is 608-270-4300. In addition to that, if you want to share information anonymously, we do have a tipster line, and that's 270-4321. And then Madison Area Crime Stoppers is also a phenomenal organization that takes anonymous tips via text message and over the phone as well. So if you visit p3tips.com or call 608-266-6014, you'll be able to share anonymous crime information, and you can actually get a cash reward. And then finally, on that topic, we do have a number of forms that you can submit for various concerns on the city's website to share things that aren't emergency or ongoing or in progress situations.
I think it's important to know all those avenues of not just calling you guys up and having you come out for a visit, but plenty of ways to open up the conversation no matter what the case is. So appreciate you sharing that. Turning our attention to the warmer weather. Ned, you like warm weather as much as I do, and more daylight. But that means people who have been cooped up for a while are ready to get out, do some walking. We have a very active community, so some good reminders here to watch and be aware of your surroundings.
So as we get closer to summer, hopefully, which is my favorite season, we had a little bit of a taste of it here a couple days ago. It's important for everyone to start getting in that mindset that there are going to be different patterns of roadway usage. There are going to be more bicyclists. There are going to be more people out walking their dog, and just be aware. Whether you're on two wheels or on four, be more aware of your surroundings as people adjust their habits with increased daylight to just reacclimate yourself with your surroundings, your neighborhood, and people's patterns. It's just real critical with the number of distractions that drivers have available to them, more well-constructed vehicles where sound's harder to pick up. Just please pay attention and keep everybody safe no matter what you're out and about doing.
And while you're out about, maybe you're getting the dog outside for a good walk now, because they've also been cooped up just as much as you have. A good reminder to make sure that you leash up your pets, plus picking up that pet waste as well. So important.
Yeah, it's an important reminder as well related to pets. Fitchburg does have an ordinance that requires your pets be leashed when they're off your property, and that's really for everyone's safety. For your pet's safety and for everyone else around you. You may have the most well-trained dog and they react to voice commands and will immediately come back, but it just increases the community's safety when pets are leashed and prevents some negative things from occurring. And the pet waste is just a common courtesy. That's a respect for your neighbors, for the neighborhoods, and for parks. And we just appreciate it if everyone can take ownership and responsibility of that.
Yeah, that's definitely good advice there on all fronts. Turning our attention to Women's History Month, you were just sharing an initiative in the PD world or police world of 30 by 30 campaign. Tell us about that.
So March being Women's History Month, it's a great time to talk about this. There's a national movement to increase the number of women in law enforcement serving communities. And the initiative is titled 30 by 30, which references having 30% of your sworn law enforcement staff be women by the year 2030. The number of women serving in law enforcement has been rather stagnant for a number of years, and the national average is right around 12% of law enforcement personnel being female. What we're hovering around, depending on over the last couple of years here, 15 to 20%. So we've been doing fairly well, but there's always the need to, in the interest in increasing those numbers. Research shows that females in policing open a number of doors as far as representation of the community. There's research that leads to the belief or the understanding that there's decrease in use of force, and a number of just very positive things that we would like to see in our police department and police departments around the country. So we have signed that pledge, and we have a very active group that is working to improve our representation in our workforce.
I think of sometimes maybe you want to confide, maybe you want to talk to a woman versus a man when you're out there, for the police, this perspective, depending on what's going on there. So I think you've got a lot of different things, but it's a great initiative, and we'll keep up on the progress with that on the police department. Finally, want to quickly talk about National Social Workers Month and just how important a social worker is, but the police department now has a shared social worker on staff who's now on board. Sarah Folkers worked for the senior center for many years, is now partly on your staff as well. Why is this such a great benefit for both the senior center and police department?
Well, and really it's a benefit for the community is the biggest thing here, is that we are able to provide a whole different level of service, and we are being the 24/7 agency that we are, and being the agency that tends to collect issues that there aren't necessarily good solutions for in the community. We get a lot of calls that aren't necessarily law or criminal related, and so the biggest thing that this position will allow us to do is to provide more resources to community members that we don't have the tools or the resources to provide. And then in turn, that frees us up to respond to criminal matters, investigate crimes, prevent crime. And Sarah has been extremely busy already. We're working through workflow and referrals and what the process is going to look like, because this is brand new to us. And so in addition to the resources to the community, it's going to increase communication across city departments, and we're going to be much more responsive to the needs and the wellness concerns of our community.
I think that's going to be part of the best part of this is we're going to learn as we go too. So we know the benefits of having a social worker available for lots of great reasons, but we'll probably find out some more great things to come as well. And Sarah will do a great job in that role. We know that for sure. All right, Ned, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. And quickly, Ned, if you were going to do a bracket, who would you pick to win? Is it going to be the W here, or is it start with a G?
I don't know. You're putting me on the spot. I do know Kentucky is not going to advance to the championship after that upset last night.
Maybe that was your bracket pick. So we'll end it there, Ned. Thank you so much for your time. Stay safe out there. We'll check back with you next month.
Thanks, Jeremy.
You bet. Check the police department's websites at fitchburgwi.gov/police department for more information. And of course, follow them on social media as well. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
All right, I'm here with the mayor of Fitchburg, Aaron Richardson. Aaron, thanks for joining me. We're going to be talking about the town of Madison. Town of Madison attachment is what we call it. I call it This Is Your City. And we're welcoming everybody here to the city of Fitchburg. And Aaron, we're getting close to an open house that's coming up here at the end of this month. Tell folks what we're going to be doing at that open house.
Sure, it's Thursday, April 28th, 6:30 p.m. in the Courts Building. And we're going to have staff give a short presentation and then be available to answer any questions that people might have.
And as we're looking at this as a whole, we've been planning this for quite a while. So behind the scenes, staff have been working hard to get and answer the questions that, well, we don't know because towns don't take over cities or cities don't take over towns. And so we're kind of writing the playbook at the same time.
Yeah, this is a very unique thing. And it's really something that we've been working on for years, trying to get all those questions answered because there's a lot of questions. For example, there's an election that's going to happen shortly after the people in the town of Madison come to Fitchburg. What do we have to do so that people know where to vote? We want them to be able to vote.
It's true. Aaron, as people want to learn more and figure out, have those individual questions, what do we have set up so people can find those answers or where can they find help?
Really, our website is the best place to go. You can go in there, get all your questions answered. But you can also find contact information for myself, other elected officials, city staff. We'll be happy to answer any questions that someone might have. And so don't hesitate to reach out. Happy to answer those questions at any time.
Let's put you on the spot here, Aaron. You're coming into Fitchburg. You're maybe not familiar with all the great stuff we have. What do you tell somebody that you're welcoming into our great city?
Well, I think that there's a lot of wonderful services that you have. When you think about Fitchburg, we've got great parks, great trail systems, but you also have things like a fantastic library, a senior center, we have a recreation program for all ages. All those things are open to you now that you're a City of Fitchburg resident.
And contacting your elected officials, we want to get people connected with their elected officials, but how would folks go about doing that or learning about who is representing their area?
Yeah, so our website has that information as well. The people that are in the town of Madison, they're coming to Fitchburg, are going to be in District 3. And so that's Jay Allen and Shannon Strassman. Their contact information is on our website. Mine is on there as well. Feel free to reach out to any one of us.
Aaron, as we work through this, we're going to have some other events coming up down the road. But after October 31st, it all comes in. We're not just stopping there, right? We want to continue to welcome people in. We know there's going to be lots of questions throughout What's the reassurance that we can provide everybody to make sure, hey, we're going to be here for you?
It's something we've been planning for a long time. We've got things in our budget this year, adding more staff, adding more things like a plow truck. We have roads that we're going to have to plow now as Fitchburg, and so we have another truck that can go and make sure that we're plowing those roads over in that area. But even though there's an official move over date, before then, after then, don't ever hesitate to reach out. Things are going to come up that we just couldn't anticipate, and so when those things come up, let us know. Please reach out. That's so important.
Yeah, we are here for you. We have a lot of resources out there. And Aaron, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Communications, people who haven't been familiar with Fitchburg, we have a lot of different ways that we communicate. You mentioned the website, but what are some other resources that they're gaining that they maybe didn't have for communication to find out more about our city?
Well, I think one of my favorites is Fact TV.
That's why I put you on the spot, Aaron.
Yeah, I figured that was the right answer.
It's true.
But you can also sign up for email updates. There's an ability to sign up for the updates just for the town of Madison moving over to Fitchburg, but you can also get updates on a lot of different services on there. There's a whole list of things. Go on there and get those sent directly to you.
Fantastic, Aaron. As we wrap up, your final thoughts here about meeting people and welcoming in. I mean, as a mayor, it's pretty cool, right, that you're part of this historic move.
It is something that is really unique, and I'm really proud to be the mayor during this time. It's a very unique thing, really, throughout the entire state, to have a town completely dissolve like this. Cities do some annexations here and there, but this is such a unique thing. We've been talking to people on the state level, and they actually don't know the answers to some of the questions because this is such a unique thing. So it's something where, I've grown up here, 5th generation of my family lived here in Fitchburg, and this has never happened. This is one of those really transformative moments, and so it's just a lot of pride that I'm able to be the mayor during this.
Awesome. Well, like I said, we have a lot of resources out there on our website, fitchburgwi.gov, right on the main page, Town of Madison attachment. Aaron's here to answer questions. We're looking forward to seeing everybody in the near future. And again, any questions, feel free to reach out. Aaron, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. We'll see you on the other side.
Thank you very much. Just remember, this is your city.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be flood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Wrapping up the show today, I want to thank Lieutenant Edward Hartwig for his his interview today and getting some information from the city police department, and also from the mayor for the town of Madison update as well. And again, don't forget to come out to that tomorrow night starting at 6 down here at the Innovation Campus and Innovation Parkway in the town of Madison. So that'll be a good time, and hopefully we'll see Jeremy tomorrow, and hopefully he gets better. All right, that's gonna do it for me. Everyone have a wonderful evening. We'll see you back here on the next Talking Fitchburg on Thursday.